We're back on the Victrola 9, and we need to get this screw out of the spindle shaft casting that holds the bottom of the spindle shaft. And there's ways around everything. And if you're going to do a restoration properly, like my mother-in-law used to say, we need to take everything apart. The only thing that's not coming off this is the little ratchet paw part for the winding crank mechanism. The little thing moves back and forth, that's all riveted in. We can clean around that, but everything else has to come apart. So the trick of getting these screws out, because all the gunk goes in there and it gets all corroded with the varnish from the old oil, it's an old school farmer trick. We're gonna heat it up with our little butane torch here.
And you're just heating around that.
I'm heating it and the casting, and I want to feel over here because the heat will transfer into the casting. See if it's getting warm. Yeah, it's getting warm. We're going to get it warm. You see I'm touching here. So now what you do is you get it warm and you touch. He says, yeah, that's warm.
Then you turn off the flame.
You turn off flame because WD-40 will ignite. Now we're just going to hit it with WD-40. And you see how it bubbled? This is really cool. Now you're going to come in with a squared and the crescent wrench like that. That's why these shafts are square. We're going to push down hard. And boom, it'll just pop right out just like that.
Wasn't that a trick you learned from Taylor Sherrill?
I learned that one from Taylor Sherrill. Old farmer trick. And you see the varnish right in here, that brown crap. That's what's locking it down. This stuff is like super glue on this thing. So now what we're going to do, we'll go back to the other bench. We don't want to lose that screw because it's special. I'm going to lay this here. All right, let me grab my chair. Sweetness. We need to get this off and this gear off. This gear here has a little set screw back here and a collar that holds it in place. So we're going to undo that. Pardon the head in the way. There we go. Let me look in here real quick. This is a little tougher guy with one eyeball. There we go. Got the screw out. You don't want to lose that little set screw at all. Now you're going to take a little piece of brass. And because it's glued on with a varnish. There we go. A little more. We got the collar off, which we will put right next to the set screw, and then this comes off. And you can see how this has tremendous amount of wear in here from inside the casting. When we reassemble, I will use STP in here, and it'll work better than sewing machine oil, and you'll see on the reassembly. Now, the problem arises that we have to take this nut off, which is 3/8. And this spins. But since we're going to polish all this out, and this is a rare occasion on a Victor where you have this early casting like this, we need to hold this shaft in place to undo that nut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my thin vice grips, and I don't do this very often. It's the only way around this. I'm going to hold the gear in place.
So you're not on the gear, you're beside the gear.
Yeah, and we'll clean all these marks off down the road. You just come in here and there we go. And nothing slipped. Reverse vice grips. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out how they did that. We got the nut off. And I will be back in the next video on why this doesn't want to come apart. And that's my tip for the day.